Have you ever had any major injuries, like doing just circus or anything?
Yeah, actually, I broke my back doing a show in Spain, and I was like in horrible pain. Like I was like doing my act, and then I was just like lying down on the ground after. And someone else in the show came up to me, and they were like, "You seem unwell. Like, is your back okay?"
Like, I've been hanging by my hair for the last 3 months. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm unwell.
But it was crazy because it was a couple there in the show with me. They had an act together, and the wife had broken her back a couple years ago. So he like recognized kind of like the signs, and he was like, "I think you should go see our doctor here in Spain." And I hadn't really been having any luck getting X-rays through my insurance and all that stuff in the U.S. So I was like, "Okay, I'll just go." Got all the imaging done. Doctor comes out. He's like, "Yeah, you need surgery like right now. Like your back is broken."
Welcome back to the Yo Show. We are here on set of Mad Apple. First of all, I got like one more week left in the show. Absolutely love it. The cast is absolutely amazing. My favorite show in Las Vegas. You have to see it. But let me tell you, the person that comes out and everybody's just in awe is, they call it the hair hang, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay, it's the hair hang, and you're absolutely phenomenal at it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now let's talk about this, because I know you're not going to tell us how you do the hair, because that's a secret. We can't talk about that. But I want to know like how you got into this industry. Like where were you in your life where you were like, all right, I want to be an aerialist, or I want to be in like a Cirque du Soleil show?
Yeah, I feel like my experience in this show is actually very authentic because I moved to New York City to be a dancer.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was in 2016, and I got there and I was just like super overwhelmed by the kind of like cattle call culture of dance in the city and like auditioning, and it like wasn't for me. And I knew a couple girls that were like doing silks and that kind of thing, so I tried it and I fell in love with it right away.
So you didn't know how to do that before?
No, so it's been like about almost 10 years for me in circus.
How long did it take you to pick it up?
I would say it took me like probably like 6 or 7 years to get like really good, like starting to get like ready for jobs like this, like with Cirque du Soleil. But I really threw myself into it. Like I was like all about it. I was like, I'm going to do this all the time. I'm training like every day, all day. I really built like my life in New York around like training. So yeah, I kind of picked it up quickly, and especially with the dance background, that helps too.
Now, when you were in high school and middle school, were you athletic? Did you play sports or?
No, I actually failed gym a couple of times, which is really funny. I'm like scared of the ball, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I did ballet. So I was always like, okay, like I'm a dancer. I didn't really see myself as like an athlete, but that has been a really life-changing experience for me now to do this like more athletic kind of work and realize that it's just like all about training really and like commitment. Like now I consider myself an athlete.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah. And I probably could have done any other sports if I just had like thrown myself into it in the same way.
Is it weird because you know, I have 2 kids and I look at them, one's 8, and you're like, what are they gonna like when they grow up? What are they gonna take up? What are they gonna? Because right now he has passion for this ninja class he's in, but it seems like you found your true passion much later in life. Was there anything you wanted to do before the day? Like you said, okay, if dancing doesn't work, I'm gonna do this, but you fell into being what was it called, an aerialist? Aerialist.
Circus arts,
yeah. Like, was there anything like after dancing, if dancing didn't work?
Yeah, you know, I started dancing like at a fairly young age. I was like 10 years old, and I was really serious about that too. I went to like a ballet boarding school in high school, so I always kind of thought I would be a dancer, and then had like a bit of a personal crisis in my early 20s when I realized like, oh, this might not actually be for me, and then just kind of like found circus and fell in love with it. So I don't know if I ever had any other like super clear idea of what I wanted to do besides performance, but I definitely had a part in the middle where I was like, I want to perform, but I don't really know how, like kind of like a dark moment. And then I found the circus and I was like, okay, now we're good. We're going this way.
You're going this way. And then you put 100% behind it.
Yeah. But for me, like I always loved the arts and I always loved performing. So I think I always saw myself like in that field.
Okay. So you're doing 6, 7 years you're in, you're down, you got it down.
Yeah.
When do you say, okay, is it going well before you learn the hair hang? Like how'd that transition happen?
Yeah, it was going pretty good. I mean, I was kind of doing that like New York City hustle. Like I was like bartending, I was working in restaurants, and I was training, I was doing my shows. And it was actually during the pandemic when everything closed down that I started training. Like I've never trained before, like 8 hours a day because I was like so focused, like I didn't have a job anymore. So I was just like training all day. And it was actually during that time that I specifically learned the hair hanging from a friend that was in the city. So yeah, I feel like I was like doing good before. Like I could see it kind of happening for me, but it was always going to be like a little bit like paycheck to paycheck kind of vibe. Like I'm hustling for the gigs. Like I got all my bags. I'm like train to train, gig to gig. And then during the pandemic, I really like leveled up and I started getting offers for like touring contracts and like 3 months, 6 months. Like I heard from Cirque du Soleil for the first time and I was like, oh, okay. Like I'm on a new tier now.
So did you get the call after the hair hang or when you were an aerialist?
I got the call after the hair hang. Yeah.
And where did you perform that? Like that must be nerve-wracking when the first time you try that.
Oh my God, yeah, it's terrifying. Okay, first of all, it's so painful.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're just like so scared because now I have this like body of experience. I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for 5 years and I know how it works and I know everything about it. But when it's new, like it's very dangerous. Like the hair can like come undone. Like you can like sort of like tear out the hair. Like there's a lot of things that could go wrong. So I feel like in the beginning, it's extremely nerve-wracking.
Did anything tragic happen at the beginning?
Nothing like tragic happened, but I definitely did lose a lot of hair.
Yeah.
There's like pictures of me in that like first year or two, and I look like Gollum, you know, like how like the 3 hairs like flapping in the wind, and I'm like, okay, tie me up, like let's do it. Like I like really wanted to do it, but I feel like that process is really powerful because there are a lot of times where I was like, maybe it's just not going to work out, like maybe it's not for me, and then it's like, no, I have to figure it out. Like I have to find the way. Like I need to change my diet, take more vitamins, like practice differently. Like that's when you become a professional, I think, when you start like tackling those kinds of like problems.
Yeah, that is the thing about everything in life is the commitment to it.
Yeah.
When you decide to start eating right and training correctly, and it's the commitment. That's
Yeah.
where everybody falls off. Everybody wants to have a 6-pack and look great and be able to hang from their hair, but nobody's willing to really put the time in to do it.
Yeah, totally.
Do you still get migraines from it, or are you
actually,
used to it now?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of headaches per se. For me, it's mostly like managing the hair care because it's like a lot of wear and tear on like the physical hair. So that has probably been like the biggest thing for me, like making sure that my hair is really healthy and I'm taking good care of it. I have had like some swelling, but I figured out ways to kind of deal with that.
Okay, so in between shows, sometime I see you with this.
The ice, the giant bag of ice.
Yeah,
wow,
she has
really?
a giant bag, but also
I have an ice hat, and then sometimes I also do the giant bag of ice.
So is that what it's called, an ice hat?
I mean, that's what I call it. It's like for migraines. Yeah, it's like
so
from Amazon.
So you put that in the freezer?
That's in the freezer. Yeah.
Ah.
Pop that bad boy on after the second show. Yeah.
Have you ever had any major injuries, like doing just circus or anything?
Yeah, actually, I broke my back in 2022.
Was that during the pandemic?
No, it was like my first kind of big show following the pandemic. I was doing like a tour, and I just had sort of like a coincidental, like I had a bad choreography choice paired with like a bad rigging moment and just landed like badly in a back bend and broke my L1 and didn't know for like 8 months. Thank you, American Healthcare. But also because I just like assumed that it was fine. Like surprisingly, when you break your back, it's not always like game over, like because the muscles just kind of tense up around it and you have many vertebrae. So I was just in like discomfort for like 8 months.
So when you found out, how long did you have to take off?
Okay, this is the crazy part of the story. So I found out, I was doing a show in Spain and I was like in horrible pain. Like I was like doing my act and then I was just like lying down on the ground after. And someone else in the show came up to me and they were like, "You seem unwell. Like, is your back okay?"
Like, I've been hanging by my hair for the last 3 months. Yes,
yeah,
I'm unwell.
But it was crazy because it was a couple, they were in the show with me. They had an act together and the wife had broken her back a couple years ago. So he like recognized kind of like the signs and he was like, "I think you should go see our doctor here in Spain." And I hadn't really been having any luck getting x-rays through my insurance and all that stuff in the US. So I was like, okay, I'll just go. Got all the imaging done. Doctor comes out. He's like, yeah, you need surgery like right now. Like your back is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't get it right now because I finished the show I was doing. And then I had the surgery in Spain and I stayed with that couple for like a month because I wasn't allowed to fly like immediately after. I had to wait a month. I was on like blood thinners and all that kind of thing. And then I got back to New York, and I want to say my first show was like 2 weeks later, which was like against the recommendation of absolutely like everyone in my life. But
Is it because jobs are hard to get and you wanted to perform as soon as you got back? It's almost stability.
I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah, I think like I had the gigs lined up in New York. I mean, the first one I did, it was like a big figure gig, you know? And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do it. And I'm not going to do any back bends. And I'm going to be super careful. And I'm just going to like get that bag and then take it day by day after that. And then I got an offer maybe like 2 months after that to do like an ongoing show in New York. And I told them like, I would love to do it. Just so you know, I just had back surgery like 4 months ago, so I can't do any back bends at all. And they were like, that's cool. We just want you in the show. So like no back bends, do what you need to do, get you in the show. And like I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for anyone else. That wasn't what was recommended to me. The doctor was like, don't do that. But I felt like I just really took it day by day. Like it forced me to communicate with my body in like a very like specific way, and I feel like I potentially could have gotten better faster because I just started moving again and started doing it again.
Now, back bends. Do you do that on this show?
I do a lot of back bends in this show.
Okay, then I don't know what a back bend is. What
a back bend is like anytime, you know, the back is like
bent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on the ground.
Okay,
but I'm like
okay.
Like you grab a foot and you pull it up by your ear.
Exactly, I'm
Okay.
So any kind of like arching with the spine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I brought my girlfriend to the show.
Oh,
and
cool.
Yeah, she loved it. And in fact,
nice.
that's all she talked about the whole walk home.
Really?
Because I live down the street from here.
Okay.
So the whole walk home, she just kept talking about the hair girl,
Oh, that's
and then,
so sweet.
And then the next day, we get up and we're drinking coffee out on the deck, and she's just kind of like looking off into nothing. And I go, "What's up?" And she goes, "Still thinking about the hair girl." And I go, "What are you thinking?"
She's getting some ideas.
Yeah, and she said when she goes, "Do you think like she gets a new partner and says, listen, I'm pretty open to most things, but if you pull my hair once, I swear to God."
No, that's so funny. I feel like that's such a point of contention for me because I feel like everybody makes that joke all the time. And, you know, like I'm dating, I'm on the apps and whatever, and like people are always like, "Oh, so you like to get your hair pulled like crazy?" And I'm like, no, that's like if you're a chef and it's like, "Oh, so you want to make me like breakfast, lunch, and dinner?" And you're like, "No, I don't."
Yeah. No joke.
Now, what I love is you have this routine backstage. You were like
I'm
on
dialed
the
in.
I mean, talk about like when she said she's dialed in, like how she got to this point in her career, like dialed in. Literally, I know where she is from this time to this time because it's the same every show. Did you start that as soon as you got here? You knew that routine?
No, not at all. Yeah, I feel like that was like the biggest thing for me. Now I'm finishing up completing my second year. And the first year was really hard for me because I've never done 10 shows a week year round. Like that, what? You only do that in Vegas. So if you haven't had a contract with a show in Vegas, like you've never done that.
So what is it like in other places then? You do one show every 2 days, 3 days, or like when you're out and about?
It depends, like on the contract. I mean, in New York, I did tons of gigs. It's lots of nightlife, lots of private parties. So sometimes it'd be like, okay, I have 3 gigs in one day, and then I don't have one for like, you know, a week or whatever.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's just however it lines up. And then when you do like a touring show, I mean, that can be anything. All shows are different. But like, for example, I did a Christmas touring show and we would do like 10 shows a week, but it's 1 month. So you bang it out and then you go home and then you don't work for like a month and then, So this is a totally different beast. And I feel like it took a lot of work to figure out like what is the best system for me, like how can I take care of my hair, my mind, my body, my back, like all of these things so that I'm doing the 10 shows a week and I'm consistent and I feel good.
What were you doing at private parties?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. No, like just performing. Like I feel like in New York, it's very like, like, oh, I'm up here, I'm so cute. Maybe you're like a little champagne, or sometimes you do your act, but it's a little more like kind of, ambient entertainment. There's no shows
Oh,
like this.
okay,
So it's like you'd be like at a nightclub and you're like, oh my God, there's a girl like spinning up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess maybe for us, like we've been hired before to do like a guy's birthday party.
And you do like your
and
act.
you just you sit in his living room and you do your act. So I thought maybe you were just like in a guy's living room, just like hanging from his chandelier or something. You know?
Yeah, they're like, oh, can I have you like for my birthday party? And you're like, send me a picture of your ceiling. And there's like, it's just like plaster, and you're like, babes, no.
No, that's not good. What is the weirdest request you got?
The weirdest request I've gotten to perform? Oh, I did this one gig in the Hamptons where I was like on a lyra, which is like the circle. We don't have it in the show, but it's like a circle apparatus. But it was like in a bird cage. But the bird cage was like so tiny that the lyra barely fit in it. And it was like on the ground. So I like, you can't do anything. So I was just kind of sitting in it like.
Wow.
And they're paying me so much money because it was in the Hamptons. And
Yeah,
it was like, and
you're
I
like,
was
yeah.
just like, like
check, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this routine you got, when did you start that routine backstage? Because it's a bunch of stretches she does, and it makes us normal people like me feel so lazy. Because literally when I see her, I go, I should go in my little space and stretch myself.
Oh my God, you're so cute, but you don't need it for your act.
I don't, that's the problem.
I feel like
that's the problem. I wish I did.
It's like the most backhanded compliment ever. You don't need it for your act. You're fine.
You don't need to be physically fit for your act.
You don't even need to be standing up.
You need to be fit, but yeah, it's like I feel like people sometimes say like, "Oh my God, you're so amazing," and I'm like, I literally, it's just my job. Like I just have to do it.
100%.
Like I just have to do it, or I can't do my job. So it's not really that like.
I could see like, and not getting too much into dating, but guys being intimidated at you.
I think everyone's intimidated of me.
I
really
could see that.
Friendly, but yeah,
no, you are.
It's hard. I feel like it's hard because it's like. I have such a specific job, like first take the hours, like the 10 shows a week and whatever. And then like put on top of that, like I have a solo act, like I'm on the billboards around town. Like I'm very invested in what I do. And I'm not like a shy person or kind of like.
So do you prefer, take the money out of it.
Yeah.
Do you prefer kind of being I like a show once a month and kind of going everywhere around the world? Or do you like, okay, I'm here in Vegas. I have a steady paycheck. I don't have to worry about the next gig. Which life do you like better?
Oh, that's such a tough question because I really like them both. Like, and I do love traveling. I think that that's like super exciting. That's a really fun part of this job. But I did take a leave of absence in February from here to do a show in Switzerland. And it was an incredible show. It was an incredible experience. But I was kind of reminded of like, what it's like where you're like figuring out on the fly versus like I come here and it's so dialed in. Like everyone is so good at their job. It's like they're all in the places they're supposed to be. And you really like, it's something that I've had to learn to appreciate because I feel like in the beginning I missed a little bit like the excitement of like the changes and stuff. But now I realize it's like actually such a beautiful opportunity to feel like I'm totally safe. Everything is totally consistent. And so then I get to elevate my art. Like I get to take chances and try new things. And I just have this opportunity to get like better and better in a super consistent situation. Because I don't have to be like, oh, okay, well, I need to change because there's like something hanging in the way over here, or because it has to be this amount of minutes long because something else is happening. Like I just get to focus completely on the art form, and that's cool.
And I would guess when you go to other shows, I mean, it's not as much money is invested as like this show.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very high production. Yes, this is very high production value.
How much has your show changed here since you first started your act? Have you changed it a lot, or is it pretty consistent when you first started?
I think it's changed a lot. I think the thing that has changed the most for me is sort of like the performative aspects, like the expression and being able to connect with the audience, because now I'm more at ease in this space. And also I think this space is challenging because it's like the people are so close, like they can see your micro expressions. So it's really been like I had to level up a lot, I think, to start performing more with my face and like really getting into
her first the way she kicks out her first takeoff from the back, and then she hits this smile up there, and you just
that's like genuine.
No, but it's awesome. But you see everybody just go, like it's so awesome to see the whole audience just watch her go up there. So
I think what's even more impressive is the first few times I saw the show, I had just assumed like when you were maybe 3 or 4, your parents saw your head of hair and went, we must do something.
That is
This
so
this is
funny.
like sheep's wool. We
This
must do
hair?
something.
No.
And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, your hair is actually way, and this is not
I
a
won't take
pejorative.
it, no.
It looks thinner than what I expected it to be.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's
Yeah.
like very normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents are like, you're doing what?
Yeah.
What did your parents think when you got into
Oh my God. I mean, I think they're happy for me because like I said, I grew up as a ballet dancer. Like I always wanted to perform and they're super supportive. So I think on the one hand, they're like, she did it. She's doing it. She's supporting herself. Like she's successful. She does what she loves. So they're happy about that. But I think they also sometimes get stressed about like the dangers.
Yeah, especially with you because you're so high up.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in upstate New York, like super tiny town.
Okay. Did you like that experience?
No.
What was the name of the town? Because I bet I've done it.
I don't know. It's called Malone, and I always say it's like I'm alone.
I'm
like
alone.
there's like no one there. There's
I'm
no
alone.
one there. Yeah, and there's no like there was none of this. I don't even know how I got this idea. Like I think I watched a movie with like dance in it, and I was like, I want to do that. And luckily my parents are supportive enough that they like figured it out. Like we're always driving like 1 hour, 2 hours for classes and stuff.
See?
Yeah.
People don't recognize what parents do, man.
Yeah, I
always-
yeah.
It's incredible.
I'm a small town guy myself, and I think sometimes, because like Bob Dylan is from my hometown.
Oh, really?
And one of the things that he had talked about early on was like, I had no other choice but to make it because I was never going to go back there.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that kind of feels the same for
Yeah.
other small town people. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy because there's such a divide. Like it's either that or you're like, I'm staying here forever.
Oh yeah, friends.
Yeah.
I have friends of mine I went to high school with that still have the same job that we had in high
yeah?
school.
Yeah, there's not a lot in between. It's like I'm getting out or I'm doubling down. Yeah.
Now, so we can what do you love about this show?
Oh my gosh, I love so much about this show.
This Mad Apple show. Tell me.
First of all, I love that it's about New York. Like that's so on brand for me. I think New York is like one of the most amazing cities in the world, and I never thought I would leave there. And then I got this contract offer, and I was like, well, it is my dream job, and the show is about New York, so I guess I'll do it. But yeah, I love that it's about New York. I love that it has a lot of personality. Like I love the other Cirque shows as well, obviously like very conceptual, but I love how in this show we get to be ourselves. And I think that each person like really shines on stage and like their own personalities like add to the vibe of the whole show.
I love the energy. Like it's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's not, and everybody's so nice.
Yeah, and like backstage, like I think the show is amazing. I love everyone who works here. We have so much fun. The vibes are so good.
That's what I was shocked about. The first,
Yeah.
it's like everybody's cool, and if there's drama, they know how to hide it very well.
I don't think there's any drama.
I can't see it.
Trust me, I'm looking for it because I'm like,
Because I'm sure in New York there's a lot of drama in New York.
I like to know, what's going on, and I'm always like ear to the ground, and I don't hear anything here.
What I was talking to I think I was talking to Charlie Black, and I think I said something like, I think there's no drama here because everybody's so specific in what they do. It's not like, let's say dance or acting where everybody's going for the same job.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I will never get on a wheel and be able to do that. And nobody else back there will be able to do it. No one else will be able to do what you do, what I do, what anybody does on the show.
Have a lot of respect,
And there's a lot of respect. So I feel that since everybody has their own lane, everybody's doing their own lane. So they're not a lot of conflict happens.
Yeah, I think that's it. And we're also just cool.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Do you want to mention your socials or do you not want people following?
Yeah. No, follow me, please. Yes, I'm at Erin Blair, ERIN.Blair, BLAIRE. And I actually only have Instagram. I'm not really like
there you go.
that.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's good enough.
Can't find me on Snap. I'm just,
Give it up for Erin Blair. The best.
Thank you. You're the best.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Yo. All right, here's the deal, and we need you for this. All right, DraftKings is the official sponsor of the Yo Show. Spend $5 to get $200 in credits. That's right, $5, $200 in credit. All you have to do is use my code. What's my code, Rudy?
It's Yo Rudy.
Rudy.
It's the life of the roadie. It's Yo Bet, which is YOBET.
That's YOBET. We aim for one person a podcast to sign up on the app. Use Yo Bet. It helps our podcast so much. YOBET. Hey, what's up? It's Michael Yo. We are back, Mad Apple, my favorite show, and I'm bringing you some of my favorite cast members. I mean, all of them I love. Let me tell you something about Ray. I mean, this dude is a beast. How do I say this right? I want to make acrobatic? No. What is it? Trampoline dunker, right?
That's right, trampoline dunker.
Trampoline dunker. And what I loved is after the show, we were walking back to our cars, and he told me this story of how he got into it. Now, let's start from the beginning. Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was into all sorts of just sports. My dad's a phys ed teacher, so for me it was basketball, baseball, tennis, and then I did sports camps, all sorts of things like that. So it just had me busy and just nonstop. But that was also like growing up around like Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, Three Ninjas. So like I've always had a knack for the acrobatics and like the stunt work.
Okay, so I do want to bring this up, and don't take this the wrong way. You're not the tallest of guys.
Right.
Right. So growing up, I would imagine like people always challenge you on that, and you had to find ways to show them you could do stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'm super competitive
I love
because of that. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
I love that. I love that. So what age do you remember that you got into acrobatics?
I did my first back handspring at summer camp when I was 8.
Okay.
It was one of those, kid was like, he could tumble, and I was like, yo, teach me. He was like, you're too little. I was like, well, then I'll do it myself, and kind of just chucked it, and it was a success.
And trust me, as a dad of a gymnast, the first one ever, I remember my daughter just coming home that day and she's like, look what I can do.
Right.
And then it was, I mean, the backyard was nothing but back handsprings for the next 6 years. So
Right.
yeah, so it's amazing.
So
it
you
really
fell
is.
in love with
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. At that point, I was kind of unstoppable when it came to, you know, if you could do your first backflip, like you're that kid in the group of people that don't do that. So
Yeah.
for me, it was like anywhere you go, hey, do a backflip. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get into acrobatics at 8, and then what are you doing through middle school and high school then?
Middle school, high school, honestly, I'm just playing a lot of sports, staying active. Like, I'm an only child, so like my dad had me in a lot of like group activities, summer camps, things like that. So honestly, up until I would say college, it was more, I'm just a free spirit. I think I fell in love with rollerblading for a while.
Nice.
And
Oh wow.
yeah, there was the movie Brink on
Yeah.
Disney,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I wanted to be a soul skater for a little bit, even though all my friends were snowboarders and skateboarders. I was like, no, I'm gonna rollerblade.
I love it.
So for me, it was, I took a year off from school. I went to Savannah State University and went for civil engineering. And at that time, I was like, still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with life. And so I took a break. I was serving at a restaurant, and one of the servers, her cousin owned a gymnastics gym. She was like, hey, you'd be good, because I'm always, you know, flipping inside the restaurant. It was like, you do parkour? I was like, yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. And so she was like, you would love, my cousin would love you. So you should come to the gym and jump around. I'd never been in a gymnastics gym. So I was like, all right. So I ended up going there for an open gym, and this is the first time I ever got to a spring floor. And so I feel like I'm floating doing my tumbling passes, and there's a foam pit. So now I'm like, oh, I'm going to fully send this. And so I kind of just fell in love with it right then and there. And she offered me a position as a coach to teach the beginner boys gymnastics team. So for me, it was, okay, I like this. Like, and now here's an avenue of something I've never really truly explored in that discipline. It was more, I'm watching YouTube videos
You know what's interesting about interviewing, just the 3 interviews today, everybody kind of found their thing later. They all knew they had it younger, but then later in life, they were like, oh no, this is it.
Yeah.
This is, I've always done this, but no, this is the path now.
Means there's hope. So why don't you go ahead and
No,
fire
no,
up
no,
a back
no,
handspring
no.
down to the stage
I'm
right
done.
now.
maybe a barrel roll or something.
No, there will be no rolling, no jumping from me. No, I'm done with that. I can honestly say I am done with that. So I want to get to how you started working with the Boston Celtics, because that's a great story.
Wow. Luck of the draw. When I say like opportunity just kind of fell into place, I was working at this restaurant called Legal Seafoods, and we were overstaffed on a Friday night. And this is again while I had just started like coaching and doing more acrobatics. We were overstaffed. Our boss was like, hey, does anyone want the night off? I was like, me.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's Friday night. All my friends are at work. I don't know what to do. So I went on Craigslist and I was looking for stunt work because I was like, yeah, I think I could be a stunt man for real. And I just so happened to see a posting for the Celtics cheer squad. They were looking for dancers, dunkers, acrobats, and I was like, I know exactly what that is because me and my dad had season tickets all my life, and so I grew up to the Celtics.
Okay, gotcha.
And so I had always seen them throwing the T-shirts, doing the tumbling. My dad's like, "You could do that." I was like, "You damn right I can."
Yeah.
So for me, it was literally I saw it on Craigslist, and it was for the next morning, and I was like, "All right, bet." And so I showed up. And
what year was this?
This was 2010.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, for the 2010-2011 season. And so I show up, and there's a bunch of cheerleaders, and I'm like, wow, I'm in the wrong place. Even though the ad had said breakdancers, tumblers, dancers, I was like, I know what to do. And luckily, I got there a little bit later through registration, so I had a later number. So my plan was I'm going to watch as many people as I can and kind of figure out what to do because everybody's got cheer experience and all of that, and I'm the only, like, backyard tumbler at this audition. And so I'm, like, number 54, and so we have us in a line. And you watch everybody go. And one guy, he was, like, one of the first people to go. And, like, he had such a great audition. The very last thing he does is standing backflip, and he falls on his face. I was like, I could do better than that.
Yeah.
So I ended up going out, and I tumbled for a good 45 seconds of just, like, the whole audition was, imagine there's a timeout. The Celtics have just gone on a run. The other team has called a timeout to slow down the pace, and you've got to keep the crowd going. I was like, I got you. And so I went out there, guns blazing, tumbling, across the floor, running, cheering, screaming. And then I remember, like, the last pass I did, I might have done, like, 12 back handsprings across the entire court. And then I was so dizzy that when I landed, I actually did a full circle because I couldn't see straight. And I was like, no, don't do that. So I threw another gainer, which is like an off-axis backflip, to kind of play it off like, no, I meant to do that. And I was like, I'm done. And 2 weeks later, I got the call. And
but did you know right then you did well? Did they give you some indication?
Everybody else said, yeah, you killed it. But I was like, but I didn't do the other thing. I knew I stood out, but going against people that are in there for cheering, because you're the promo team, you've got all this experience and you know the right people. Me, I'm just some random guy that saw this on Craigslist last night. So
that's awesome.
For me, no, I was just like, I hope they like that. Because that's all I got.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, with my friend, we had just taken a yoga class, and I'm in the car, and the Celtics mascot calls me, and he's just like, hey, so, let's backtrack. I had an interview. And so the interview went all right. They're asking me questions. They're like, hey, what's your experience? I'm explaining all of that, and it's pretty straightforward, maybe 15 minutes, and I'm like, okay, thank you. And then a week after that, I'm in the car driving, and they're like, hey, so we'd like to offer you the job. We were really impressed with you. And mind you, I'm sitting next to my friend, and I'm so, yes, sir, thank you. That means a lot. This is amazing. And then I hang up, and I'm super calm. She's like, what happened? Oh, I got the job. And she, what? She's excited. I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't want to, go crazy right now.
Plus you're doing 80 on the highway.
Let me compose myself really quick. And so that's when I got the call. And initially, like, going into it, what's crazy about that season was that was also the same year that LeBron had made the move to Miami.
Yes.
And our first game was against the Miami Heat.
Wow. At home?
At home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my first ever debut being on the court, going out to do it, was that game. And, like, I remember at some point, maybe weeks in advance, you have these dreams, and it was just like, I remember seeing the court from the balcony and being like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then going through the arena the day of the game, I was like, I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those surreal experiences that kind of led me to the Celtics.
So your first game, Miami Heat, Boston Celtics, what do you do in that game? Like, are you tumbling that game? Are you dunking that game? What are you doing?
No. So in this, like, I'm just a freestyle tumbler. Like,
Okay.
at this point, we're in charge of like the t-shirt toss
Okay.
and running the promotions that happen. Like, you pick a contestant, they're on the jumbotron. We're kind of there facilitating all of that. And then towards the end, we're throwing the t-shirts in the fourth quarter, and they allow us to freestyle. You go out there, you hype the crowd, you tumble.
Gotcha.
I'm breakdancing. It's basically what we did in the audition.
Yeah.
But now it's in front of
Amped up,
18,000 people.
Wow.
So I did that. Everything's going well, and 2 years later, we're in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and my coach / the Celtics mascot, he's looking at me and my buddy David, who is a fellow tumbler, tricker, martial artist. He's like, "Hey, you guys want to dunk?" It's like, "Yes." I've been watching you for 2 years now. Of course I want to dunk. And so he's like, okay. So we had a couple practices, put together some pieces to kind of put into the show, because up until then, the mascot was just dunking alone.
Yeah.
He's doing 3 sets, hypes the crowd, but he's like, it would look better to have more people out
Now,
there.
Boston Celtics, who's the I don't remember ever seeing a mascot for the Boston Celtics.
It's Leprechaun.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the
Lucky,
leprechaun.
yeah,
Okay,
Lucky
yeah.
the
So he did
leprechaun.
the dunking.
Right.
Okay, got you. Okay.
So we're out there, and he's like, okay, let's get ready for playoffs. Let's go and do this. And so we had a few practices that led us there, and we ended up going all the way through the playoffs until I believe the Eastern Conference Finals or the semifinals. And we dunked all through there. And then the very next year was when we got the green light to kind of create the team.
What was the toughest thing for your journey to get here?
I would say, honestly, believing that I could see it through.
Yeah.
Especially when you go through COVID and it feels like you fall on your face. And you're like, I'm going to chase this. I'm committed. I'm giving up everything that I built. Especially, like, I was with the Celtics for 10 seasons, and I started to see myself leveling up. I was doing all sorts of things, but to get here, you got to believe it.
Yeah.
More than anybody else can believe it for yourself, and especially going through a pandemic where they tell you your job's not essential, and you're like, right now you're kind of right, because I'm definitely a lot broke. And so going through that and just being like, I'm gonna see this through, because the guy that I ended up staying with, one of my best friends, was the same guy that I had started the team with, who had moved out here, that convinced me to make that move. And I was about to quit. I was literally about to walk into the kitchen and be like, we tried, but I'm going home. Like, and he's like, we're in this together. And if you go home, you're going to be doing the same thing you're going to be doing if you were here. But at least here, we can find a way to do it together, as long as we believe in just grinding.
And he's on the team too out here?
No, he's not. He's in the stunts.
He's in the stunts.
He's in the
Okay,
stunts,
gotcha.
but that was the one who had got me out. Like, we started the team. He convinced me to move out here. He's who I saw One Drop with.
Yeah.
He got me into all these auditions, and he's like, I believe in you, man, but we just gotta push through this hard time right now. And so for me, it's always been, you gotta see and believe what you can't see.
Yes.
You got to visualize that and just be uncompromising on knowing that you're going to get there one way or another. And I feel like that's been the hardest part about making it, is seeing the things that nobody else sees, but believing it within yourself.
You have to see it. You have to see it.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody on the planet also believes in them, but nobody has as much talent as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be like, hey, I'm pretty good at this, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like you are definitely within we talk about the 1% of comics, but you are probably in the top 0.5% of all the people on the planet that do your specific craft.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy, because like I said, like, a lot of what you see, especially for the guys that dunk, you see it a lot in Europe.
Yeah.
It's bigger out there, but in
wow.
the States, it's kind of confined towards like the NBA community events, but you don't really see it on a large scale. And like, I feel fortunate to be able to be one of the representatives of our sport, of our craft in Cirque.
Give out your socials.
So I am at the Ray Butler Project on IG and Raymond Butler on Facebook. That's really it. I don't.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely, buddy.
All right. You know the news now. I'm part of Mad Apple. I also am part of a new game show. That's why I had to reschedule so many of my dates, and we dropped all of them. If I had a date scheduled with you, it's in my website right now. It's in or on my website.
It's on. That's
yeah,
it.
it's on. It's
It's
on.
in or in.
MichaelYo.com. I know these off the top of my head. Houston, House of Blues, September 13th. We have New York, the Gramercy, September 20th. We have something the 28th. Seattle on the 20th. Is it the 28th?
It's the 28th. It's the last weekend.
It's
last
the
week of September.
28th. And then there's some more coming. And also November, we got a bunch of dates. I can't remember them all.
Washington, D.C. is coming up.
Washington, D.C. at the beginning of September. We got other stuff. It's all MichaelYo.com. Sorry for rescheduling. I can't say rescheduling. Sorry for rescheduling the shows, but you know, this is a great thing, and I'm happy to see y'all later in the year. The last podcast we did with Mad Apple did so well with Adam and Charlie Black.
Yeah.
It was so good, and I had to bring some more people because you know I love Mad Apple. I got 2 more weeks, my last 2 weeks. So I got tonight, it'll be Thursday. I'm off Friday and Saturday because I'm in San Antonio. You can't make it because your family's coming to town. And then I'm here for my last week. Next Tuesday through Saturday, we're gonna blow it out right here in Mad Apple, New York, New York. The best hotel, the best show, and we're here with Teresa. Now she just got a promotion. So I wanna make sure I say her title right, artistic manager.
Yes, that's correct.
And what is an artistic manager for Mad Apple?
So it's basically like the artistic director nightly. I watch the show, give notes. I call myself the show polisher. So I like to keep it looking fresh for everybody and also help the artists continue to expand their artistry.
Nice.
She does. She's giving me a lot of notes.
Nice. Can I give you a note? Can you hold the mic just a little closer?
Sure. I love it. That's perfect.
No, that's the note.
That's her. Yeah, she goes,
Yeah, that was her note to me. Because literally, I was on stage the first couple of shows. She goes, "Hey," because I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Because I think as a comedian, one thing you hate is to hear yourself back a lot.
Yeah.
And when you're talking to their mic, it's like, "Whoa," you hear yourself. So I kept it like down here, and she was like, "Nah, you got it."
Yeah.
And now we're giving her the same note on our podcast.
Yeah.
Way to go, Rudy.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
there you go.
Yeah.
Payback. So, Teresa, let's go to the beginning. When did you know that you wanted to be in? Because you're a dancer.
Yeah.
Now you started dancing young, or?
I started dancing when I was 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Had my first performance at 2.5.
Where at?
At a community show, just at a little festival with my dance studio.
Yeah, I like those little like those the community. You know what I mean? It's like that. I can't remember what you want to call it, like Parks and Rec, where they have the dance classes or whatever. And my daughter did it when she was like 4. It's the greatest memory I have of her going out there in the princess dress and doing it. It was great. Yeah.
Yes, that's how I got my start.
And then when did you know, like, okay, I want to be a dancer, but one day I want to work for Cirque du Soleil?
When I was in high school, I saw my first Cirque du Soleil show. It was La Nuba in Florida. And I thought, like, oh my gosh, the acrobatics, the artistry, the costumes, the makeup, everything is so incredible. I would love to be a part of that. And then when I became an adult and I started my career, I kind of went more the dance route.
Now, when she talked more of the dance route, she's like she's underplaying it big. She was a Laker dancer.
Oh,
a Laker dancer.
Yeah.
A Laker dancer.
Like, were you there like the good seasons, or were you there when? What was the years?
So I was on the team with Kobe.
Oh.
Yeah, but unfortunately, my first season with the Lakers was the year that Phil Jackson retired.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the team didn't do that well that year, but we had a lot of star players. So the team itself was really cool.
So you had Kobe there at the time. Who else?
We had Steve Nash,
Steve Nash.
Dwight Howard,
That's right.
Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace.
That's wild.
Yeah, so the team was just a cast of all-stars.
Wow, Kobe. How was he? Did you ever meet him? Did you ever talk to him?
I did. I met him at our media day, actually. We shared a microphone, okay, he used it, then it was my turn, and he was so friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Like, when that happened, how did it affect y'all that were in the organization? Or were you out of the organization?
I was out of the organization by that point. But I was still in LA, and it was just catastrophic for the city.
I don't know if there's ever been a player who has simultaneously motivated me more, and I have done nothing with that motivation besides Kobe Bryant. Because every time I watch a video of his, I'm like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna eat right and I'm gonna exercise, I'm gonna do all that, and then I just sit and watch Kobe videos for 90 minutes, and I'm like, well, this was pointless.
Or The Rock.
Or The Rock. Yeah, The Rock, the same way. Yeah.
Like Kobe, the memory I have of Kobe, we were doing an event at Hublot, and it was Napa country, I guess they call it, Napa. And he flew in on a helicopter, and he was doing this event for Hublot, and it was all these executives. And he goes, they were having this big lunch, and he didn't want to sit with all the people. So he says, do you want to grab lunch? So I'm sitting with me and Kobe Bryant for like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And he was just telling me, like, giving me advice for 2.5. It was so like inspiring. But that was awesome. So you did how was that experience being a Laker girl?
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I was on the Lakers for 2 seasons. Before that, I danced for the Clippers for 3 seasons.
Oh, she was a traitor. She was a traitor.
And then a couple years after Lakers, I cheered for the Rams. So I traded to the NFL.
Okay, which one did you like better?
I liked basketball better because it was indoors. We had the nice court. We could wear sneakers. We weren't holding heavy pom-poms. And we got to dance a lot more as a group. In the NFL team games, we were kind of split across the field because it's so much larger. So in the NBA, we got to dance all together.
Okay, so which one do you think appreciated you more? Because I would imagine basketball fans appreciate what y'all do more than football fans, because football fans are so focused on the game.
I would say the Clippers fans are...
The Clipper fans.
Yeah, they are diehard because back then it was prior to the Clippers really having any fame.
Yeah, you got to be a diehard to be a fan of that team. That is a tough team to cheer for.
So the season ticket holders were like family to us. They knew all of our names.
Oh, wow.
And that was just a really cool experience.
Okay, so talk about cool experience. The coolest experience from the Lakers, Clippers, and Rams. Just pick one experience out of those 3. What was the coolest experience you think?
I think Lakers. Yeah, Lakers.
But is there a
was
thing
by
that
far.
happened?
Oh my gosh. The start of the game. Have you been to a Lakers game?
Not, but I don't remember it.
I would say like the very opening part of the game is so iconic and legendary because the lights go out because they call it showtime, right?
Yeah.
It's the Lake Show. So they make it feel like a show. All the lights go out. We would run to the center. The Jumbotron would explode this big curtain, and we'd be underneath holding it, and they'd do a big projection, and all the spotlights are going. So it just feels like, oh my gosh, the game is starting. Yeah.
Did you ever worry about not making a team, or did you not make the Laker or Clippers or Rams teams the first time trying out?
I actually first auditioned for the Charger Girls when I was 18. I had no idea what was going on. I got in there and I was like, oh my gosh, I was not ready for this.
Yeah, so 18, I'm doing the math real quick. That would have been 2004, 2005?
Oh,
maybe?
I don't know.
Okay, because that would have been like the Doug Flutie, Ryan Leaf era of the Chargers.
Was that in San Diego? Yeah, in San Diego.
Okay, that must have been that. Yeah. Because that was, you didn't miss anything during those years with the Chargers. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, like that experience was really eye-opening, I would say. And then a couple years after that, I got dragged to the Clippers audition with my best friend, and I didn't know what it was. She
dragged you there?
Yeah, did
she make it?
She did.
Okay, good, because that's the worst, a friend to drag you and they don't get it, but you get it.
Well, she got it and I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, and then the next year, I was like, okay, I know what to expect. I could be way more prepared, and so then I finally made the team.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, so Lakers, Clippers, Rams. When did you say, all right, Cirque du Soleil now?
So I actually also worked at Disneyland for 13 years while all of that was going on.
Can you say what you did?
I was
I
gonna
think
say-
it's very secretive. Can you say what you did there?
It's not super secretive. I was an actor, singer, dancer. I was also friends, wink, wink, with a few characters.
She's friends with some characters.
Winnie the Pooh. You were Winnie the Pooh, weren't you? You were the Pooh Bear.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally Winnie the Pooh.
But yeah, so I worked at Disneyland up until COVID. And then when COVID happened, the park shut down and all the shows were canceled. And so my husband and I both lost our jobs and decided to move to Las Vegas because it was going to be more affordable for us.
Yes.
And then while we were out here, through networking, we were connected with the casting director for Cirque du Soleil. So then,
wait, a casting director for Cirque du Soleil? Like, what does that mean? Like a person looks for different talent, or?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know they had a casting director.
Yeah, we actually have a whole casting team with experts for each discipline. So the casting director that we happened to network with was for dance.
Got you. So you got in as a dancer first for Cirque du Soleil?
So when I first started here, I was the senior advisor of artistic performance.
Oh, that's a long title.
Yeah, it is a long title.
That business card, you should have seen the business card she gave me. It was like a foot long. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I made that switch about a year before Love closed.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So the first thing you thought of when you got here, you're like, we got to get rid of them Knicks jerseys. We got to figure out a way to incorporate some Lakers jerseys in there.
No.
That's awesome. So now, why? Because one job was on stage, the other job was off stage.
Mm-hmm.
What do you prefer? What do you like? I mean, do you like the? Because it must be, I would imagine, as an entertainer, you're seeing entertainers every night. Do you ever go, I miss that?
I miss the camaraderie that you build when you're on stage with your castmates, and I miss the physical adrenaline of it, but I really enjoy what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I get to contribute so much to the show as a whole instead of just as a part.
I tell you one thing, I love this show. And I've done a lot of projects. I love this show. The best part of this show to me is when you come out at the end and the people are standing up and the energy is high and you're out there with the whole cast. And it's just fun. Like, yeah, you do it every night, but man, every night, for me, it hits me a different way every night. It's like, this is so cool. Like, you get that feeling when you do a stand-up show for a standing ovation, but it's almost magnified here because you got music going, you got all these lights going. It's intense. I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
And you have the support of the whole cast.
You do. You do. And this cast is so amazing. Everybody is just loves on each other. There's no hating that I've seen. They do hate. They hide it well, which is a great thing, I guess. But it's been a phenomenal experience. Phenomenal experience. So now, do you ever see yourself getting back on stage at some time, or you're done? Wrap up. That's a wrap.
I mean, I always think like, okay, if my son does a performance and they do like a mom-son dance.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'd love to get on stage for that. But I think my time, like, it came and it went and I had a ball, and like, I'm so happy where I'm at now.
And what's the one thing you love about Cirque du Soleil as a company?
Oh my gosh, I love just how elite all the athletes and the performances are. They're just on another level. Yeah. And you're not going to see something like this anywhere else.
No, let me tell you, Rudy. I've said this over to you when we fly to place. It's so amazing being in a room with all these talented people, and they're chilling on the couch. Just chilling out. Yeah. And then 2 seconds later, they're on stage doing the most amazing things you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah, I like the fact that you said, like, my time has come, and you're so young to have said that. Michael and I were talking the other day, and I made a comment about somebody who was like, oh, there's a team who's looking at a player, and I was like, he's so old. And he's like, dude, he's only like 33. And I was like, he's not, but that's still old. Like, I saw yesterday, there was a guy who retired, and he was only 29. Yeah. And I'm like, man, so I don't think I think sometimes people just go, he's a performer or whatever. You could do that until you're 80. It's like, no, this show, you got into like your mid 30s, maybe in your 40s. And then maybe at some point you got to go, all right, now we're going to do a front office job.
Yeah. I mean, it's so tiring doing 10 shows a week at the caliber that we expect everyone to do. So yeah, it's the lifespan of an entertainer for Cirque du Soleil or for dancers in general is not until you're 80 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I just do stand up and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like I'm not flipping, I'm not like, but you put because the energy's so great. Sure. So you put everything you got into it. All right. So now, Mad Apple, New York, New York. What do you love about this show specifically?
Oh my gosh. I love the variety.
Yes.
The variety is so cool. Like you could come here and think, okay, I'm going to see some acrobats, and then like, boom, you're hit with some comedy or some variety or some amazing musicians, incredible singers, the hottest dancers. Like, you're going to get a little bit of everything that makes New York so special.
Love it, love it. So, Lakers or Clippers, what's your team?
Ooh, that's hard.
Nope,
because they both have a special place in my heart.
Oh yeah, well, both of my kids have a special place in my heart. But
there's one you love a little bit more, and she knows who she is.
No. But which team?
I mean, I guess since I'm here, I'd have to go with the Knicks, right?
See, you see how she got out of that?
Yeah.
You see
That's
how
a
she
very
got out?
diplomatic answer. I
She's
like
good.
that.
She's good. She's good. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. Do you have any socials you want people to follow you on, or you probably don't?
I mean, if they'd like to, I'm _ Teresa Danielle.
All right. _ Teresa Danielle.
Very understated. I like that.
All right.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Well, like I said, I got like 8 days left. I got this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This will be up on Thursday. So I got tonight and I got all of next week. I will see you there. And it's been so good working with you.
Oh my gosh, we love having you. So.
I love being here. And I'll see you soon.
Yeah.